Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger, and it's time to take a look at the newest release notes from Riot. Yes, that is right. The World Championship hotfix notes are now up and available. They're doing a few changes that will probably stick around for a month or so while all the championship stuff is happening. They don't try to generally change the game too much while this is going on, so this will probably stay this way for a little bit unless they have to fix something that is messed up in the notes. So, other than that, we'll jump right on in to the notes. Just some fixes we have right off the start. We have Anivia. They fixed a bug where Glacial Storm Slow was stacking with Flash Frost. Next we have Caitlyn, the Pilt over Peacemaker. The damage fall off per subsequent target has been reduced to 10% from 15%, and the minimum damage has been increased to 50% from 40%. And then the 90 caliber net can no longer be cast while rooted. This is kind of a nice change to the Pilt over Peacemaker. It didn't ever feel like it did quite enough damage, and this way now we're going to probably see that be a little bit more viable, and maybe we'll see Caitlyn played a little bit more. Next we have Galio. It looks like now you can actually cast your shield while you are doing your ultimate. We'll see how that will affect the game. Next we have Irelia. Blade Surge no longer fails to refresh or grant mana return when killing certain enemies. Then we have Jace. Thundering Blow mana cost has been increased to go up now instead of it just being 40 at all ranks. So Jace won't be quite as mana efficient, but he wasn't really having too mut problems. Next we have Maokai. His Sapling Toss Explosion Particle can no longer be seen through the Fog of War. Alright, now we got some changes to Misfortune. Her Strut, which is her passive, out of combat activates now after just 5 seconds instead of 7. And then the ramp up time to reach max speed has been reduced to 5 seconds instead of 13 seconds for being out of combat. So, it's going to be a nice change for her Strut. She'll be way more mobile and she'll be able to gank actually a little bit better and just be able to move around a bit faster. Her bullet time, the wind-up time, is significantly reduced. It's almost immediate now. There's almost no hesitation, meaning that you are going to actually get caught in her ult now. Before it was pretty easy to kind of avoid it. You could be like, oh, she's going to ult, and then you move to the side and kind of avoided all of it. But now she's actually able to land it a lot more, and the mana cost on that has also been reduced. Next we have Nidalee. Her Cougar form attack range has been increased just a little bit. Next we have some changes to Rengar. Rengar can no longer speak his VO lines when he's dead. That's good. Unseen Predator, after leaping, Rengar now immediately attacks the target if it is a champion. Jumping between targets is now smoother, although it does look like he does it crazy fast. And then Unseen Predator now correctly shows up in the death recap. Savagery, the damage has been increased on this ability, almost at all levels, going up a little bit. The attack speed bonus now applies to the first attack after activation. Battle Roar no longer has a cast time. You can now do it actually while you're moving, which is going to actually make it a little bit more viable to use. I know some people actually weren't using it because it'd slow them down in a fight and in a chase. And then the ability ratio has been reduced a little bit. And then Rengar no longer loses his attack command after using Battle Roar. Bola Strike now procs Sheen, Triforce, and Lichbane, which is good. And then the Thrill of the Hunt, there has been an increase to the movement speed on it as well now. So you actually are a little bit faster, which is good because that's kind of the point of Thrill of the Hunt. It's to kind of have some extra speed that's going to be helpful for you to catch up to somebody so you can then pounce on them. These changes to Rengar, I don't know if they needed to happen. I know they say he felt weak, and I know some people haven't played him too well, but I've seen some Rengars that can do a ton of damage. He's really, really strong early game. I would probably say expect a build coming up because I think he's a little bit powerful right now, and I don't think it'll be too hard to make a video for him. So look for a Rengar build maybe in the next week or so. Alright, moving on, we have Vayne. Her base movement speed has been increased by 5. That's going to help her out. We have Vladimir. His Ties of Blood damage has been reduced at later ranks because it was just a little bit powerful and spammable. Next we have Wukong. The Crushing Blow now grants an additional 125 attack range for the attack, and they fixed a bug on the Crushing Blow that would cause it to cancel when chasing an enemy. Next we have Xerath. Lotus of Power can now be cast while rooted. And then as for Yorick, we have some changes here. The Ghoul base move speed at level 1 has been reduced by 50. Ghouls gain movement speed as Yorick levels and will reach the same max speed that they were at level 12. Ghouls no longer block pathing for enemies, and the Omen of Pestilence mana cost has been increased a little bit because it was probably his most spammable one, or at least one of the best for spamming and then slowing people. So I think these changes did need to happen to York. He could force people out of the farming phase almost too well. He can kind of switch between all of his ghouls constantly and kind of create a problem where you could not farm at all. So these changes hopefully will still keep him a strong champion, but not so ridiculously powerful during the laning phase. Next we have Ziggs. His satchel charge knockback range for Ziggs has been increased, and the knock up height on enemies has been increased. The Mega Inferno Bomb, the secondary charge, has been increased on that by 5%. In general, the Blessing of the Lizard Elder damage now displays properly in the death recap. So that is pretty much the patch notes for this go-around for that hot fix. Hopefully, like I said, this will probably stay this way for, I don't know, at least a month while they're doing the tournaments, depending on when those are. But I like these changes for the most part. The Rengar one's the only one that I would say is a little questionable. But we'll see how that plays out, if it even changes the game much at all. So other than that, guys, that's going to be it. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put those in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, and other than that, I'll just see all of you in the next video.